It is one of the biggest buildings in Chincoteague, and like many other buildings on the island, it is full of history.
Yeah, what is now known as the Village Mall was originally the Old Pal Opera House and Theater, built a century ago. Well, today it's a place where you can find ageless antiques, prizes from the present, and everything in between. While growing up in Chincoteague, Ruby Millico admired the building that now houses the Village Mall.
At a young age, I lived on the street over, Mumford Street, so I would always walk through town, you know, to go to the gas station, and so yes, always obsessed with this place and coming through here.
Today, she owns a store here called Treasures for the Soul.
My store is just all local art, and then my art as well. And then my art is kind of like upcycled, recycled, repurposed. That's the whole point of the vintage and bringing in the antiques, and just everything's plastic now, and that kind of triggers me. So I wanted to save all the wood and save all the pretty things that are hard finds, I guess.
A perfect fit for a building that has quite a history of its own.
I know that it was built in the early 1920s, I believe 1923. It was the Main Street Opera House, where they would come and listen to music from all over the place. And it is one of the biggest buildings on Chincoteague still. And it's amazing how it's been maintained and how it was built initially and then remodeled. This was all the original wood color, which was gorgeous, but...
Michael Jewett inherited the Village Mall from his mother.
Yeah, my mother bought the building in 2004, and she ran pretty much every store in here for the last 10 years that it was open. There was, you know, the economic crisis, so it made it hard to find renters, and then she just found that she could handle it. So yeah, I inherited the building. She passed away fairly suddenly.
Michael renovated the building during the pandemic.
It's almost like a marvel of modern architecture. Like there's had to be very little work done on it, all told, and it's still in great shape. It's a beautiful location. There's a great view from the upstairs that we hope people can come and enjoy. I think it was built just after a big fire, but it's survived quite a bit, and they've continued to find a use for it throughout the years.
In addition to Ruby's shop, there are several other boutiques that offer everything from clothing and local art to spell candles and crystals. In fact, Michael's Jewelry relocated to the mall from Maddox Street. And among all the upcycled and vintage wares, you'll find a shop that uses modern technology to create unique memories.
And upstairs we have a 3D printing operation where they'll take pictures of you and actually make a little souvenir that looks just like you.
Much of what you'll find in Ruby's shop is also created there.
I like to make jewelry out of cut glass, solder it, put art in between the glass. I also like to take antique silverware and from like the 1930s to the 1950s. That's kind of what I'm using right now. Making cuffs, necklaces, pendants, you know, just things like that. Wind chimes, random stuff, so.
But she also features other local artists.
One of my main staples in the store I'm so proud of is Captain Barry. He's been, you know, doing tours on Chincoteague for years. He's also an artist, and I'm going to be selling his t-shirts here exclusively, so that's like a huge deal for me. And he's also obsessed with the Channel Bass Inn. I am too, and they're the ones that just gave me all their signs.
Tourist season brings more traffic to the Village Mall, and merchandise moves quickly. But there's always something new or perhaps old to find on store shelves.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you'll never know what you'll find when you come in here. So it's definitely worth taking the walk through the building.
An historic building that combines the past, the present, and plenty of possibilities for the future. Now, Ruby says the building is said to be haunted. In fact, it's on the Chincoteague Haunted Walking Tour. Both Ruby and Mike say they have had some unusual ghostly encounters, but they all seemed friendly, which is okay, right?
Sure. Sure it is.